Communication is the lifeblood of every relationship. Whether between spouses, friends, family members, or coworkers, the ability to connect through meaningful conversation can nurture deep bonds, heal wounds, and cultivate mutual respect. Without it, even the strongest relationships can drift into misunderstanding, resentment, or emotional distance. Like a house built on a firm foundation, communication is the glue that holds everything together. It's not merely about exchanging information. True communication is about connection. It is how we build trust, express love, handle disagreements, and ultimately grow together. The Bible is rich with wisdom about how we should use our words. Proverbs 18:21 NIV reminds us, "The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." What we say, and how we say it, can either breathe life into our relationships or sow seeds of hurt and division. That's why cultivating strong communication skills is essential for healthy, God-honoring relationships. In this chapter, we'll explore the core aspects of communication, including emotional intimacy, active listening, self-expression, and conflict resolution, all through the lens of biblical wisdom. Communication and emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy is the heartbeat of a meaningful relationship, and communication is the channel through which it flows. When we communicate openly and vulnerably, we invite others into our inner world, our fears, hopes, joys, and sorrows. This kind of emotional sharing requires courage and trust, but it's also what creates real closeness. We are reminded in Galatians 6:2 NIV, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." We can to help carry each other's burdens if we done to know what they are. That's why honest, heartfelt communication is essential. Far too often, emotional intimacy is hindered by assumptions or silence. We expect others to know what we're thinking or feeling, and when they don't, we feel neglected or misunderstood. But emotional connection doesn't happen by accident. It must be cultivated. By taking time each day to connect, ask meaningful questions, and share our hearts, we foster a sense of safety and belonging that strengthens the bond. Even a few intentional moments of real conversation can transform a relationship from surface level to soul deep. Active listening. Listening with empathy. Listening is more than staying silent while the other person talks. True listening, active, empathetic listening, requires our full attention and presence. It's a discipline that invites us to slow down, put aside distractions, and truly hear what the other person is saying, not just with their words, but with their tone, body language, and emotion. James 1:19 NIV offers timeless guidance. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Active listening creates space for others to feel valued, seen, and understood. It involves nodding, maintaining eye contact, and using affirming words like, "I hear you," or "That must have been difficult." It also means withholding judgment and resisting the urge to fix things too quickly. Sometimes people don't want solutions. They want to be heard and validated. Empathy is the cornerstone of listening. It allows us to step into another person's experience and feel what they feel. Romans 12:15 NIV encourages us, "Rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn." When we listen with empathy, we communicate that we care deeply about the other person, as heart, and are willing to walk alongside them through both the joys and challenges. Expressing yourself clearly. The power of I statements. While listening is crucial, expressing ourselves honestly and respectfully is equally important. Many conflicts arise not because of what was said, but because of how it was said. Harsh words, blame, or generalizations can quickly escalate tensions. That's where I statements come in. These simple tools allow us to share our feelings without placing blame or making the other person defensive. For example, saying, "You never listened to me," may trigger a defensive reaction, but saying, "I feel unheard when I try to share something important," shifts the focus to your experience. I statements take ownership of our emotions and communicate them with humility and clarity. They also open the door for deeper understanding rather than conflict. As Proverbs 15:1 NIV says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." Speaking gently doesn't mean we avoid hard conversations. It means we approach them with love, grace, and a desire to connect rather than control. Clear, kind, and honest communication builds trust and reduces the likelihood of misinterpretation or offense. Nonverbal communication, speaking without words. It's often said that 93% of communication is nonverbal. Tone, body language, facial expressions, and gestures all play a major role in how our message is received. A sigh, a raised eyebrow, a shrug. These subtle cues can either reinforce or contradict our words. That's why being mindful of our nonverbal communication is so important. Eye contact, open body posture, and gentle tone can make even difficult conversations feel safe and supportive. On the other hand, crossed arms, rolling eyes, or distracted behavior, like checking your phone, can create emotional distance or tension. Jesus modeled this attentiveness in his ministry. He looked people in the eye, touched the untouchable, and was fully present with those around him. In every interaction, we have the opportunity to reflect Christ through our nonverbal presence. Our body language should say, "I'm here, I care, you matter." Conflict resolution. Turning disagreements into opportunities.
Conflict is not a sign that something is wrong in a relationship. It is a sign that two unique people with different perspectives are trying to do life together. The key is not to avoid conflict, but to navigate it with love and humility. Ephesians 4:26-27 NIV gives us wise instruction. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Unresolved anger and lingering resentment create distance and give the enemy room to divide.
That's why addressing issues promptly, calmly, and respectfully is essential. Effective conflict resolution involves several components. Seek to understand before being understood. Listen fully before responding. Stay on topic. Don't dredge up unrelated issues. Use I statements. Express how you feel without assigning blame. Avoid absolutes. Words like always and never usually exaggerate and inflame. Take breaks if needed. Sometimes space is necessary to cool off and pray. Be willing to forgive and apologize. Healing comes when both sides take responsibility. Remember, the goal is not to win the argument, but to win together. Every disagreement is an opportunity to grow, deepen trust, and demonstrate Christ-like love. Colossians 3:13 NIV urges us, "Bear with each other and forgive one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." The ministry of words. Words are powerful. They can tear down or build up, wound, or heal. Our speech should reflect the love and truth of Christ. Ephesians 4:29 NIV says, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up, that it may benefit those who listen." Every conversation is an opportunity to speak life, encouragement, and truth into someone's heart. Let us be intentional about how we communicate. Whether it's through listening with compassion, speaking with honesty, or resolving conflict with grace, our relationships will flourish when we prioritize loving, God-honoring communication. May our words always be seasoned with salt and full of grace, Colossians 4:6, drawing us closer to one another and closer to the heart of God.